All praises be to the Most High, in the name of Yeshua. I want to say shalom to all you brothers and sisters worldwide. Of course, this was a blessed lesson and a timely lesson. And it kind of linked directly into what I wanted to bring out today. It's not going to be long and drawn out. I said I would touch on and go into the last World War. I noticed, and I'm just coming from the, just thinking on the hinge of our last guest we had on the show last Wednesday. And it was a pastor. And I noticed that when it comes to understanding prophecy, and he claimed that, and others claim to deal with the Bible literal, that they ignore the core understanding and doctrine that one must understand if you're going to deal with prophecies in the last days. Is that the Most High, according to the Bible, have always dealt with events based on nations. And when I say nations, I'm not speaking of a landmass based on some people migrating to a place. Like, for instance, America is a country that's made out of many nations. But if there's a prophecy of the Most High according to the Bible aimed towards a specific people from Ham, Shem, or Japheth, that prophecy stands regardless if they're living amongst everyone in America. There's still a blessing or a curse on a specific nation, of specific people. And I'm saying this is because going into prophecies today, the Western world way of philosophizing and teaching the Bible, they have now confused things so that we don't understand what time we're in and what to look for in end times. And they've switched out the characters by changing the definition of nation according to the Bible. You understand? What we call a nation in this earth is not a nation at all. What the Bible calls a nation is a nation. And that's how we should view prophecy. The example I'll give you. Abraham had a promise. That promise was through a bloodline. That promise went from Isaac to Jacob to his 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. All the way down to the point where Christ would need to come in the earth and get crucified so that they could one day receive this promise through bloodline. Now, anything or any prophecy concerning Israel in this earth would always pertain to those specific people from Abraham's bloodline, no matter where they reside in the earth. Doesn't matter where they are in the earth, through bloodline. If they link back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when I read in the Bible about Israel, I'm reading about these particular people. Now, what happens if God's people are scattered, lost their identity, have no idea who they are, and then there's a new Israel state placed in Israel that have no blood lineage to the promise of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, unbeknownst to the world? Which means every time we look at the Bible and read Israel, we're related to a new state of Israel, throwing off all the prophecies, relating it to a people because they was given a landmass, not understanding that they do not fit the prophecies linking back from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the majority of theologian teachers and those that are of biblical persuasion are thrown off trying to link in Bible prophecy today, relating a people of Israel who are not Israel. Now, on the other hand, it brings me to the last World War. Because we can understand the last World War. Why? Because we understand the characters according to nations in the Bible. And the example I can give you, and I say it over and over again, everyone out there is trying to relate Russia to an end-day prophecy to destroy Babylon or America. Not understanding that Russians are remnants of Romans. They're the czars of Russia linked directly to Rome. The same people. They're Idumeans, Edomites. So you cannot take a Gog or Magog prophecy of the original Japhetic people and link it into a people that went into Russia through conquest and took over that area, being Edom. When you think of Russia now, you must look at all the scriptures of Edom and relate them to Edom. See? That's how you deal with Bible prophecy. You don't look at a landmass and say, well, okay, these people are living where Gog and Magog live, so they must be Gog and Magog. No. Satan turned everything upside down when he put the Romans in charge, and they began to take different countries and call them their countries. They thwarted all prophecy and distorted the truth concerning the end, so that we'll be looking another way opposed to seeing real-time prophecy. And that brings me to what we're about to go into. It's going to be brief. What's going on at the Gaza Strip? Because that's also being played out geopolitically with misdirection. Why? When I talk about what's going over there over on the Gaza Strip and the Edomites over there that claim to be Jews and are not, like Christ identified in Revelations 2 and 9, but the synagogue of Satan. When I see them bombing Gaza, I'm looking at it from a different view. I'm not looking at it from, well, they always fought in the Middle East, and there's a Middle Eastern war between Palestine, and it's always been there for thousands of years. That's the geopolitical spin they want you to believe. Because that war could not have been going on for thousands of years if Israel just became a state in Israel, the European Israelis, 1942. They just got placed in the land in 1942. So it couldn't have been no war from back thousands of years. So that's the misdirection. So we're going to throw that out the window. So why is the Edomites claiming to be Jews, Revelations 2 and 9, why are they attacking those in the Gaza Strip? Why are they attacking the Palestinians? Is it warranted according to the Most High? Is it Bible prophecy? So this is the way we view what's going on in Gaza, according to the Most High. And with this information, when they try to deal with that misdirection, you'll understand exactly what's going on there. The Most High have them all there for a specific purpose according to prophecy. And all these pastors out there have been actually shielding the truth concerning America and who they are and what role they play in this earth in the end times. They're being shields and covers for the satanic actions of what we call America today. Oh, wait, I can't find America nowhere in the Bible. America really don't exist. You've been covers for them. You've been shields for them. You've been shields for the synagogue of Satan that have been operating in Israel, claiming to be God's people and executing all types of evil, atheistic teachings and immorality all over the earth. You've been a shield for them. But we're going to show you, according to the Bible, the truth. First, starting with the people that are being bombed over there in Gaza. Let's go to the book of Amos real quick. And we don't deal with the Bible from a all America is evil standpoint. Let's make this clear. Because we understand that the curses and blessings is according to nations. There's people in America who are good people following the Most High. Okay? But at the pinnacle of America is very, very dark, dense evil. At its very core. And it's been that since its inception. The same thing with the what they call the occupation. I don't know if they call it the occupation of Israel. That's geopolitical too. Since they took God's chosen people's land and began to cast lots and make it nothing, make it worthless. Since they've been over there, that government, the extension of Rome, from the top is dense and dark evil. And it's coming to a head. So what's going on over there in Gaza? Let's go there. Let's go to Amos. Let's start at 1 and 6 real quick.
The book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 6. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof. It
says there's 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for doing the last one, which was the 4th one, the Most High will not turn his back. See, you're going to find that those people, the Palestinians and all of them, were one time in cahoots with the Romans against us, against Israel. We needed them, and they turned their back on us. And I'm talking about the children of Lot, who were our cousins. While we were in Israel, they turned their back on us when we needed them the most. And they made a way so that we can go into captivity to the Romans and become their gladiators in the arenas and become their slaves. The Most High never forgot the actions of Gaza. Okay? Now he sent those that you were once in cahoots with back over to show you, if you would do this to your own family, what you think they'll do to you. So from that aspect, it's an ancient spat. Because in ancient times, the people of Gaza was in league with the Romans. Who are the Romans? The people over there in Israel today. The Cohens, the Rosenbergs, okay, the Rubensteins. These are Romans. Oh, you thought they was going to let you stay in that area, huh? You thought they was going to let you stay? No. They only allowed you to be there for a time because you helped them come against the children of Israel, the children of God. Now it's time for them to take back all of the land. Why? Because Esau believed the promise should be his. He came out first. And Esau, Edom, never got over the fact that even though he came out first and struggled in the womb to come out first, that the Most High gave the promise to his little brother, Jacob. All right? So when you look at the borders that were promised to Abram, Esau, or Edom, the people that are ruling today, believe it belongs to them. And they will die before they give up their position and power. And you know what? They will die up when Christ returns. So let's speak about what's going over in Gaza right now. They're bombing the Gaza Strip. Read it.
Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
So the Most High is going to bring the punishment in Gaza. Read.
Because they carried away captive the whole captivity.
They carried away captive the whole captivity. So they was behind our servitude and slavery, our ancestors' servitude and slavery. They helped the Romans take us down. The ancients take us down. Our fathers. They took our fathers down so that we could serve Rome. It's going to show you. Read.
To deliver them up to Edom.
To deliver them up to who?
To Edom.
To deliver them up to Edom. When you look in the book of Obadiah, it tells you Edom exalt himself as the eagle. When you look at the eagle emblem, it links directly back to what? The Caesars of Rome. All the way to America today, the bald eagle. They delivered us to the Romans. We needed them, our own cousins. We've been together since Abraham and Lot. And they betrayed us for some territory. And now the Most High have turned it back on them and made Edom, the same Romans you were in cahoots with, your enemy. Now that's how you view the Bible of what's going on. That the Most High is now having Gaza reap what it sowed. That's how you view the Bible. Not look at what they doling out in the news, which is misdirection. They'll never tell you what's really going on, because they told you that this was a Bible situation in which the Most High have a hand in taking down the nations for his people. The majority of the earth would repent and come back to the Most High if they know that this is a biblical plot within the Middle East. Read.
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza.
Read it again.
But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza.
So the Most High is allowing the Romans, the Edomites that are over there today, the Khazars who converted into Judaism, he's allowing them to come over there and rain fire on the Palestinians. Why? And you might say, well, hold on, this is not just. What God would do this? Well, the God that would do this is the God that sat back and looked at these people kill the children of Israel, kill their babies, kill their women and rape their women, blocked off certain areas so that the Romans can come down and destroy us and take us captive. Oh, you thought that it was going to, that because it's the past, that it's forgotten? Brothers and sisters, curses are generational. We're connected to our ancestors, and so is every other nation. So just because the persons who did it thought they got away with it, they had children. Their seed, their spirit is still in the earth for judgment. Read.
But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza.
Go ahead.
Which shall devour the palaces thereof.
So now their palaces are being bombed. And now all over the world, people are waving flags, save the Palestinians. What's going on? Israel is taking over, just bombing our children. What the Most High see is what you did to his people. I don't hear anyone out there geopolitically in the news saying, well, yeah, this event looks like what we read in the Bible of what the Jordanians and what the Palestinians did when God's people needed help. Where's the cry for the children of God in this earth? Everyone is crying for the Palestinians and not asking, why is it happening? Read.
Verse 8. And I will cut off the inhabitants from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon. And I will turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish.
And the remnant of what?
The Philistines shall perish.
And the remnant of the Philistines shall perish. Read.
Saith the Lord power.
Saith the Most High God. So that's judgment on the people that turned their back on our ancestors, that led to our demise. Who are we? We're the children of God, serving captivity all throughout the four corners of the earth. But through the Holy Spirit, Christ have awakened the children of Israel again, and is calling Israel back to first morality and law, and to serve the true living power, Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. He's calling us back. The same time he's calling us back, on our way up, all the nations who have done us wrong are on their way down. That's what we see in the Gaza Strip. Retribution. Recompense. And it's not over for them. It's going to get worse for them. And then the Most High is going to turn his sight on those who are destroying the Palestinians. The Romans are not going to get away with it either. But the Most High is allowing them to operate. All right? Because what they call the law of the universe is not the law of the universe at all. What goes around comes around. It's what the Most High say. Galatians 6 and 7, you reap what you sow. If you put a seed in the dirt, whatever you plant, expect that tree to grow. It's just the way it is. And the nations who've planted seeds of wickedness and hatred towards God's people, what's growing on them? Hatred and seeds of wickedness against their people. That's the tree they planted. Finish reading. I need you to go to Ezekiel. So that's what's happening with them. Let's go to Joel 3 first. So we can now give a biblical explanation of what happened in 1942 with the people over there now that's leading to this world war. We already talked about the Palestinians. The Bible will tell you in Amos 2. Anybody talk about the politicians in Gaza? Take them straight to Amos 2 and show them. They helped Edom destroy God's people. And now the Most High is allowing Edom to destroy them. End of story. No more stories of what's going over there in Palestine and Gaza and people crying. What about the children? What about the women? Forget about it. That's what's going on there. Okay? They should have known it was coming on them. They should have understood it. Because no one helped our people when we needed them most. And these were our family over there. Okay? That's what's going on there.
Just real quick.
Yes, sir.
This is Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 8 through 11. Thus saith the Lord power, because that Moab and Seir do say.
Moab is the Palestinians. Okay? And a lot of people out there are totally thwarted and demented, claiming that Moab and Ammon are Japanese and Chinese. Moab and Ammon always bordered Israel. Okay? They never went to Asia. And they stayed there up until this judgment. So when it speaks of Moab, it's speaking of the Palestinians. Moab what?
Thus saith the Lord power, because that Moab and Seir.
Mount Seir is Edom or the Romans. Read.
Do say.
They do say what?
Behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen.
Now they say the house of Judah, which we are. They say we're nothing, we're not God's people, that we're heathen. Do you see how now they're calling us Gentile and heathen now? Read.
Verse 9. Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from the cities.
So he's going to open the sides of Moab from the cities. Read.
From his cities which are on his frontiers.
Go ahead.
The glory of the country of Judgement, Baal-Meon, and Kiriathaim, unto the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession, that the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations.
See that?
And I will execute judgment upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord.
And they're going to know that the Most High, the God of all gods, is against them. Now he's opening the doors on them. He's opening the gates. And what's coming through the doors? Bombs. You reap what you sow. Now, a lot of you wouldn't know this unless you read the Bible and understand that this is history that's now coming full circle. So don't look at the Middle East based on what they're claiming. Oh, it's about oil, it's about money. No, it's deeper than that. First of all, it's about a promise that they know belongs to a people that will soon rise. Okay? That's the key geopolitical conversation that no one is talking about. The bloodline of Israel that's scattered, which the whole earth is ignoring. The whole earth is ignoring God's people. Because why? A lot of them don't even know that the blacks in their neighborhoods, the thugs, the people like the Filipinos, the Vietnamese, all these poor Asians in certain areas, the North American Indians, the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, all the people that's really what you would call the low of the earth. They don't even realize that these people who are low of the earth are through bloodline the chosen people of God, suffering a curse because their fathers were wrong in the past. Now the Most High is waking us up, shining a light on the lies of the world and bringing the truth concerning these events in the Middle East, so that when you see them and they're being highlighted in the news, us fervent studiers and listeners of the Most High and followers of the Bible can understand what exactly we're seeing here and praise the Most High that His word is being fulfilled. Don't go for the misdirection of what's going on in the Middle East, because soon After Gaza is bombed and destroyed, because the Most High is getting them wiped out, which is the children of Ammon, the children of Moab and Ammon, once they're out of the way, the Most High is going to turn his sight on those who are bombing them. Next. Why? Let's go to Joel 3:1. Read it.
Joel chapter 3 verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
So when the Most High begin to wake us up and have us understand that we are not Negroes or black or colored or Ham, when he began to bring again the captivity of his people and have them know that you are the true bloodline, the royal bloodline from the throne of David. Okay? From the promises of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When you start to realize that you have a rich biblical history, that's bringing again the captivity. Because one of the greatest aspects, or one of the most poignant points, I would say, of our captivity that led to our captivity was us forgetting our heritage. So when we begin to understand we're Israel, that's the Most High bringing again the captivity of his people. That's not putting his people into captivity again. When it says bring again, that means he's bringing again the people to himself, leading them out of captivity. See? Read.
Verse 2. I will also gather all nations.
He will gather them all nations. Go ahead. So the same time he's waking us up all over the earth, and now we realize, okay, they've been lying to us. The people in Israel are not Israelites. They're Khazarians. They're Romans. We realize our preacher's been lying to us. The theologian college has been lying to us. We realize the education is a lie. All their education is misdirection to keep us in the box. So at the same time the Most High are waking us up all over the earth, he's doing what? He's gathering all nations, read.
And will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
He's gathering all nations. So he's making it so-called geopolitically correct for them to now go into the Middle East and have all eyes on the Middle East. The Middle East is the valley of Jehoshaphat, which means the valley of decision. The Most High is bringing everything back to the point of where his people was taken out, where his people was destroyed. That's where judgment will begin. See? So yeah, that's why everyone's eyes are on the Middle East, not for what you think it is. Because that's the place where all nations conspire to root us out of our homeland. So now he's making a pretext for all of them to go right back over into that same area where judgment began, starting with his people. To do what?
And will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel.
He's going to do what?
And will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel.
When he say plead with them, that don't mean the Most High is going to fall down on his knees and beg people. That means now he's going to bring judgment for what all these nations did against Israel, the children of Israel. What did they do? Before you go there, go to Psalms 83 and let's see what they did, that the Most High now have brought them into the Middle East to be judged. And then we're going to pick it up from the verse you left, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's go to Psalms 83.
Psalms 83 and 1.
Read.
Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
The enemies of the Most High have made atonement, and they that hate the Most High, that means those that don't want to follow his law, have lifted up their head now. They're proud. Speaking of the world leaders. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And they have taken crafty, which is sneaky counsel against God's chosen bloodline in this earth. And said what?
They consulted against thy hidden ones.
And they consulted against the hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? The children of Israel walking through this earth and have no idea who they are. While you walking around trying to get an identity and understand your history and heritage, these people knowing your heritage are conspiring to destroy you, knowing that it's a rich heritage. Knowing that your bloodline is royal. And through envy are looking to destroy you off altogether. Read.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
That's why the Most High have them in the body of Jehoshaphat. They have conspired together and say, let's cut these people off, all 12 tribes, from being a nation. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. Now they know who Israel is. So when they say, so that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance, let's make sure the children of Israel, once they're in captivity, let's make sure they don't know or remember that they're Israel. Let's do everything to keep that key component from them. Because if they find out they're a nation, they will find their God. And we cannot contend against their God. See? Quite simple. That's why they're teaching you you're Ham. That's why they're teaching you it doesn't matter. That's why they're teaching you it can be anyone except you. You should have seen this pastor. He was jocular, this so-called pastor on the radio show last Wednesday. When I said the North American Indians, he's like, okay, I can stomach that. North American Indians, all right. No sooner as I said the black people are the Jews. I can actually see his countenance over the conversation. I can see his disgust based on the tone of his voice. He was like, come on now. Y'all don't have the Hebrew, y'all don't have this, y'all don't have that. Of course we don't have none of that. Because the Bible says you all conspired against us to cut us off from being a nation so that we'll never know who we are. We wouldn't have a language. We wouldn't have an understanding.
Hosea 4:6.
Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And because you rejected knowledge, the Most High will reject you. So because our forefathers fell, of course we don't, a lot of us predominantly, he didn't know that he was speaking to someone who teach the Hebrew and not the Yiddish from the people he revered. But he was in total disgust. I started to turn around and say, man, are you being anti-Semitic? Are you an anti-Semite? I mean, I am a Jew now. They never expected you to know. That's the Most High bringing again the captivity of his people. So with these wars, we rejoice with these wars. Christ told us of this. There will be wars and rumors of wars leading to his coming. They all are battling to try to scrape and keep a rulership in the earth that does not belong to either of them. See? That's what the last world war is about. So they conspired against us. Let's go back to Joel.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to read this real quick.
Go ahead.
What it means to plead.
Go ahead.
All flesh. This is Isaiah 66 and 16.
Go ahead.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
There it is. So that's the plea. That ain't the Most High begging you, please come back to me and follow my law. I'll be a good guide to you. No, it's not that type of pleading. Okay? It's him bringing total fire, war, and damnation on those who have been against him and his people. Let's go back to Joel. What verse you left off at?
Joel, the rest of verse 3.
Go ahead.
And will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel.
So the Most High never forgot us. And I know it looks, when you see how we're portrayed in this earth, how the world portrays, how the media portrays us, I know a lot of us have been tricked into believing that the Most High don't see our condition. The Most High never forgot us. He's rearing up to burn the whole thing down for us. See? And that's what the Bible is speaking of. That's the Middle East. The Most High is going to take down the scepter in the rulership from Ashdod. Ashdod is the cities that the Jewish people are ruling from now. See? He's going to deal with them. See? Read.
whom they have scattered among the nations.
Matter of fact, give me that where it talks about who's in Ashdod real quick. Yeah. It's 9 and 6, right? Mm-hmm. Let's get that real quick. Show you who's in Ashdod. Got it? Let me get it there. Right here. That's it right there. Zechariah, you got it? Zechariah 9.
Zechariah chapter 9.
Just go to 5 too, because it's something key for those that are at Gaza right now too. Read it.
Zechariah chapter 9.
5 and 6.
Verse 5. Askelon shall see it and fear. Gaza also shall see it and be very sorrowful, and Ekron for her expectation shall be ashamed, and the king shall perish from Gaza.
That's what's going on right now. The leaders are perishing in Gaza, which the bombing that's going on we see. Read.
And Askelon shall not be inhabited.
And eventually those areas will not be inhabited. Why? Because the Most High is making room for his people. See? Not those that are over there. Okay. What those that are over there thinking, I'm talking about the Jewish powers, they're thinking they're going to level the land for themselves and depopulate us through eugenics and warfare in the meantime so that we're not here to inhabit it. That's their plan. But the Most High have another plan, because he's going to cut their time short. He's giving them a short amount of time to operate so that the New World Order does not come to an head. See? They have a lot of plans that will be fulfilled, but before they destroy us all, the Most High is going to bring down a mighty hammer on Rome. Not just the area of Rome, the Romans that are living in Israel right now. Because who's over there? Read the 6th verse.
Verse 6. And a bastard.
A what?
A bastard.
A bastard is a fatherless child.
Shall dwell in Ashdod.
Shall dwell in Ashdod. So the people that are over there in Israel, claiming to be Israelites, according to the Bible, they are what?
A bastard.
That's what the Bible says. They don't belong there. So we'll go to Ashdod. When the Bible says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, during the same time in which Gaza will not be inhabited, shows you that the people over there are not the children of God. They are a bastard child trying to take the promises. See, this is how you must view the Bible, brothers and sisters. It's clear. I can look in the Middle East and see exactly what's going on over there, because I'm not going for the political spin and the Zionist spin that they have on the news, making them the victims while they destroy everything we see. Okay? Let's go back to Joel.
Joel chapter 3.
We're going to finish Joel 3, and I'm going into Ezekiel 30, from the 37th through the 39th chapter next week to continue on this. But I'm just trying to, through the Spirit of the Most High, what we're doing is directing your attention clearly on the Middle East to see it for what it is. Read.
Joel 3 verse 3.
Go ahead.
And they have cast lots for my people.
And all these other nations have came together, went into the land, and cast lots for the Most High's people. So when we fell, they were casting lots for us. Like we were nothing, like on auction blocks. For our women, our children. Read.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
And they've given boys for harlots, turning little boys into little homosexuals, so that they can give them to these demented, sadistic sodomites that are in power, these politicians who are pedophiles. They've done this to our children. And you know who was great at this? Even who was the greatest proponent for this particular behavior? The Romans. The Romans were known for homosexual. The Grecians, known for homosexuality. They was known for pedophilia. They even claimed that Zeus, their god, had a little boy lover in their Greek myths. So when we fell, they would separate our families. They would sell us off and make our little boys, little homosexuals, to their elite powers. And they do this till this day. Through DHS and all that, take our children because the home is so broken, and then turn them over to these pedophiles. Read.
And sold a girl for wine.
And sold a girl for wine. You did that to the North American Indians when they came over, the Romans. They talk about, well, Christopher Columbus discovered America. And I'm looking at Christopher Columbus, I'm like, man, what's up with this Christopher Columbus guy? Oh, he was a Spaniard. Come to find out, this guy was from Spain, but he was Jewish. They'll never tell you that. They give you these, what you would call these pseudonyms, these pseudo names and these pseudo characters, so that we don't get back to the culprits, these Romans who converted into Judaism, who hide their secret missions and their secret agenda through Masonry. So when y'all talk about the Illuminati and New World Order and all that, listen, I got 4 letters for the Illuminati and all that. EDOM. They're going to Illuminati right there. That's your secret society and all that. EDOM. Rome. Whose origin is from Mount Seir. Who linked to the daughters of Canaan and bear a royal family, part Nephilim, part Edom. See, they thought we would never find out. They don't teach this in theologian seminary colleges. Where do slaves learn this from? The Spirit of the Most High. Fervent study in obedience to our God. Finish reading.
Verse 4. Yea, and what have we to do with thee, O Tyre and Zidon?
What do we got to do with the O Tyre and Zidon?
And all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
So what they're doing is going to come back right on them. That's what you're seeing over the Middle East, brothers and sisters. Read.
Because ye, verse 5.
Because ye
have taken my silver and my gold.
Because you have taken all the riches that was in our homeland. Not only did they destroy and pillage us and destroy and separate our families and kill us all, they took all of our wealth. The whole stock market, all the riches you see in this earth is ran off of the wealth that we obtained. Remember when you read in the scriptures in Exodus, all the gold we took out of Egypt and all that? How the temples were built? Solomon's temple, you know how much gold and silver was in there and great precious jewels? Priceless. And the whole world economy, this is how much precious metals were in Israel before they took us down. The whole society is running off of the wealth that was in that land. It's just melting it down and reselling it, but it's all from our land. And listen, they make no bones about it. They do it to this day. When we ran into the wilderness, running from the Romans, the Most High took us into Timbuktu. It was called the Golden City. An Arab followed us there and ended up telling Edom where we were, and they took the gold from Timbuktu. Then the Most High had us so rich in the wilderness, which was in Africa, that we were playing with diamonds like they were marbles. Until this day, all of the diamond districts all over the world, people sitting there, the Romans running around just sparkling off of what we were playing. We were playing with diamonds like marbles in Africa. Why did he give this to other people in their lands? We were the people. We've always been the people. And then when you hear that word jewelry, it's speaking of those who are taking advantage of the wealth that was given to God's people. The Most High see this. It's coming around. It's recompense. They took all of our wealth, and then they spat on us and said we were heathen, we were nothing, we were ham. And you're going to know that when the Most High brings his judgment, that the whole time that you were looking down and treating us a certain type of way, you're going to one day know that you were dealing with the children of God when it comes back on your head. And I'm saying this because I heard the smugness in this guy's voice when we proclaimed that we are the children of Israel, and the hatred he had for for us even making a statement as such. The Most High is going to show him, like the rest of them, that they have dealt wrong with the children of the Most High. And we're telling them to their face. He's wondering, well, I don't even know why I was invited on this show. You was invited on the show so we can tell you to proclaim that the children of Israel is here. That's what you were invited. Go tell your little buddies. When you're together, you pass and all you smoking your little Cubana cigars all together and sitting in your corners, drinking a little brandy and whiskey, and thinking you got the whole thing intact. Remember that the Most High warned you from his elect that he woke up out of sleep. Remember, you spoke to the elect of the Most High to tell you to proclaim the truth that the children of Israel is back. Read.
Verse 5. Joel 3:5. Because you have taken my silver and my gold.
You have taken the silver and gold.
And have carried it into your temples, or carried into your temples my goodly pleasure things.
And you took all of the great stuff out of our temples and started putting it in your heathenistic temples. All in Tibet, all in Asia. Now everybody want to deal with yoga and deal with being a Buddhist now. When even they were a part in the conspiracy of taking a lot of what we had into their temples too. All nations conspired against us. Read.
Verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
They sold us to who?
The Grecians.
They sold us to the Grecians, Edomites. Read.
That ye might remove them far from their borders.
That you might remove them far from their borders. This is the prophecy of how we lost our homeland. And how we as a people now are scattered all over this earth with no idea, have no understanding of home. When we think of home and when it comes into our mind, some thought information comes to us that say Africa, when there was no such land as Africa in the Bible. Read.
Verse 7. Behold, I will raise them up out of the place whither ye have sold them.
And he's going to raise us. He have raised us from the same place you sold us. Read.
And will return your recompense upon your own head.
And that's the war. He's turning the recompense. What?
Upon your own head.
Upon your own head. Read.
Verse 8. And I will sell your sons.
And I will sell your sons.
And your daughters.
And your daughters.
Into the hand of the children of Judah.
Into the hand of the children of Judah. This is the future, brothers and sisters, we're reading. This is reaping what you sow. This is what goes around, comes around. Read.
And they shall sell them.
And now I understand the eugenics program, the vaccine program, the all-out war, psychological and otherwise, against us all over the earth. Why we're hated such. Because if this happens, that means the Most High have broken all the authority of every nation that's ruling the earth. Okay? And you know they're firmly reading the Bible. They're telling you, oh, the Bible is tampered with. We don't put down the Bible. And as soon as the cameras go off, they got all our books open. You know, we just found another scroll. We got another scroll. Okay, how long we have? How long we got before these Negroes start waking up? Well, okay, how many more we need to kill? All right, what chapter are we in? What book are? How many more seals we got? Mm-hmm. While they telling you the Bible is tampered with, don't look that way. Well, there's other stuff out there. Every other week I hear that they find another scroll. If our books are not that important, why do you have to publicize throughout the whole earth when you find our record? All the elite powers are sitting there with our books open. All down at the bottom of the Vatican is our history, our books. So while they're telling you, oh, don't look this way, they have the top scholars, the most intelligent of their people, studying fervently day and night to buy time. And they're looking in our record. They understand that if they don't get rid of us in a certain amount of time, that we will fulfill these prophecies and rule like our Father promised. See, and that's the key point that's missing throughout all Christian theology. The false identification of the children of Israel and Israel's future. And what will happen to the nations who have did these things to God's people when God people just extended their hand, always showed love, even in our ignorance, we've accepted everyone. Even when we had no idea who we were, we loved everyone anyway. See, now the Most High say, okay, I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to let you know what's prepared for you if you follow my law. And on the other hand, I'm going to have the whole world go to war. Have them fight against each other. And while they're taking each other down, it's your time to look towards me and follow the Most High from the throne. Follow his Son from the throne while the whole world crumbles. So that when I see what's going on in Gaza, I'm like, okay, this is better than an old movie to me. I mean, hey, this is good. Let me go to Amos. All right, bombs raining down on Gaza. Okay, pass the popcorn. It's okay with me. Why? Because no one cried when the children of Israel was taken out of their land and sold for nothing. It's to a point where you mention what happened to us in slavery, everyone gets up and gets upset. But yet, we can talk about the Holocaust from now until tomorrow, and everyone should embrace that conversation. Where's the truth? We're going to bring the truth, the future, according to the Most High. The Bible. Read it.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 8.
Read this. Read it.
And I will sell your sons.
I will sell your sons
and your daughters
into
the hand of the children of Judah.
Into the hands of the children of Judah. That's right. Your eugenics is not going to work. You're killing us, and this HIV garbage y'all made up, this AIDS garbage, as a pretext to kill people, knowing there ain't no such thing as any of that. We see everything you're doing. We see it's the treatment killing everyone. And it's now aimed towards us. It don't have nothing to do with no gay disease, huh? Ain't nothing but black people coming down with this now, huh? It's not going to work. Eventually, we're going to fulfill this prophecy. We will stand again. Read.
And they shall sell them to the Sabians.
And they shall sell them to the Sabians.
To a people far off.
Read.
For the Lord hath spoken it.
For the Lord hath spoken it. So it's retribution. What's going on in the Middle East? All right. So we're going into the last World War next week. Because I want to set everything up here to show you why there's war in the Middle East. And it all leads to a people no one is identifying. Him bringing again the captivity of his people. To bring again, which means to lead the people up back to their nation, the children of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. To lead you back against the conspirators. And pray against them in their God and tear down their religion and their traditions. Okay? All the religions and traditions outside of the Most High's will, outside of the Most High's law, is swine. All of them. You can put them all together and flush it. Buddhist, the paganistic Christianity, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Sunday worship, you name it, all of it, flush it. New Age, flush it. Pagans, Satanists, atheists, flush it. All knees shall bow and all tongues shall confess that a higher is the Most High God who delivered his people. So we understand why there's war. Next week we're going into Ezekiel to show you that it's not about Russia, what it's really about with the Middle East and the Persians and all of them coming together. And then show you when Christ returns how long it's going to take to bring all the kings of this earth into submission. With that, I'm going to say shalom. I'll answer a few questions. And I hope we answered a few things concerning the war so that you can view it properly also. And another thing, there's a lot of things going on in the earth as far as the Malaysian airplane, one missing, one getting shot down. Listen, I understand that all of this, listen, if it's not concerning a Bible prophecy and understanding the Bible, it's misdirection. They got a lot of things out there that just want you to just be looking and staring at a wall with some mess that they have created. It's misdirection. Having you look and talk about something while they're working over here to destroy you on this side. Where's the plane? Where's the plane? And a guy in back of you with a knife ready to just take you out. Okay? Keep your focus on the Most High in the scriptures. Keep your focus on the information He's given you. And treat the understanding He gave you like a jewel. Like something precious. How long it took us to understand that we are God's people. And we just can't act as if that's something, that's a small thing. In a world of such confusion and no one understands who they are and which way this is going. The Most High chose you to understand. That's a precious gift. Treat it righteously. Thank the Most High for it and don't take it for granted. I'll answer a few questions. I gotta go. I didn't want to come all in and all that, but I said I would come in at the tail end, and through the Spirit of the Most High I was able to. But I have to go. But I'm going to answer a few questions, and then Gabar, I know you've been trying to reach me. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you tomorrow before the academy. I know you've been trying to reach me, brother, so I'm gonna call you tomorrow, and I'm gonna answer a few questions, and then